Oh, well, hey, Vic, it's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and have us a quick chat about some real housewives. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all, let's get into some things, okay? First things first, shout out to Miss Porsha Williams over there living her best life with her fiance, Simon Guobadia. Simon Guobadia is no longer married to Falynn Pena, okay? So they got divorced, last month or whatnot. We thought it wasn't going to take place until towards the end of the year, like around November. But it seems like things got, rushed along very, very quickly, okay? Just as quick as they hopped into new relationships once they got out of their marriage, honey. But anyway, she's out there living her best life with her boo. And who else is out there living their best life with their boo is Miss Falynn Pena, honey. She's over there with her former assistant, Jalen Banks, having a good old time. Now, y'all know Falynn did this interview with Up and Adam a few months ago. And in this interview, she kind of talked about how she wasn't a person that really liked a whole lot of attention and stuff. Like, it even took Simon to actually encourage her to do Real Housewives of Atlanta, although she was like apprehensive about it. But it seems like since she's came out with her truth, she's moved forward with her relationship with Jalen Banks, we've been seeing more and more of Miss Falynn all on social media. I know she's recently started her YouTube page and she's added her man in on that. So it seems like they have a couple's YouTube page so you guys can keep in the know with what's going on with Miss Falynn and her boo, Jalen Banks. She also came out and announced that she is indeed pregnant. We don't know for sure how far along she is, but I want to say that it's either 4 months or possibly beyond, considering the fact that girl, that belly is definitely out there poking and it's showing. Another thing that's showing is her love and PDA for her man. Now, like I said, when she did this interview with Up and Adam, it was as though she didn't really like this attention and stuff. And I feel like we are seeing more and more of that. Not saying that it's wrong or anything, because it wasn't going to stop Porsha's show. So why should it stop your show? Okay. And this is your baby daddy now. All right. And you also are divorced at this time. So she just wanted to let everybody know, as she puts this tongue all on her man, love is not an emotion I'm willing to miss out on in this lifetime. I just find it very interesting, the dynamics. I guess some men bring out different things within you. So she's been showing all her love, okay, to America. And I can't even be mad at it, for real. So if that's what you want to do, Falynn, girl, good luck, okay? And speaking of Falynn and Jalen, they got a chance to go check out Lanithia Lounge, honey, because that is definitely an attraction that a lot of people want to see once they come to ATL, although Miss Falynn has been here in ATL. But it looks like Miss Nene may have held an event in honor of her late husband, Greg. You guys know Greg passed away on last week. I believe it was September 1st when he passed away due to colon cancer. So I know she was going to do like an event in honor of him, and it looks like she may have invited out Falynn and her baby daddy, Jalen Banks. And Falynn writes under the post that she made with the two of them, she says, "Thank you at Nene Leaks for having us last night. We had an amazing time and we'll definitely be back. May God continue to give you strength during this time, during this difficult time. Our prayers are with you and your family." It's a tough time Miss Nene gonna go through, y'all. Very, very tough. So, for me, being a person that may not have always been, like Nene on the show or whatever, I definitely sympathize with her in real life. And I really hate that she has to go through this. I feel like she's been going through a lot since the last year. And I hope that at some point, as she goes throughout this grieving process, that she can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so I'm hoping all good things are definitely going to come towards Miss Nene's way, her and her families. I know a lot of people have made posts about Greg. I know I saw one from Peter. I believe I saw one from Cynthia. His son put up a post about him missing his dad. So a lot of people have been giving love to Miss Leaks and her family during this time, and we definitely appreciate it. Nene went on to make a post herself saying that today we celebrate you, Greg, with love, just the way you wanted it. And I thought that was really sweet. And it's so sad because it seems so surreal. It's like, I can't believe Greg is, not around anymore. A very tough pill to swallow right now. So Yeah, it's so unfortunate, man. Like I say, I feel like she's been going through a whole lot over this past year and probably beyond. So we're hoping things continue to go better for her. But it did make me wonder when I saw this post, have they already had his service and could it possibly been private? Are they going to have an actual service for him, or did he just want to be cremated and it's just going to be like a family thing that's going to happen? Or was she referencing another, event in honor of him when she said that we celebrated you just like you would have wanted? Because it has been quite a few days since he's passed. So I wasn't sure if they probably went ahead and had a family, I want to say ceremony, a family service. That's what I was trying to get to. So I don't know if they probably had like a family service, if there was like, casket or whatnot, or if she just decided to cremate her husband because those could have possibly been his wishes. But we may find out at a later time. But again, we're wishing all well wishes over to Nene Leakes and Greg's family and his children and everything as we go ahead and move on to the next topic here, which happens to be Miss Candice, honey. Let's get into Miss Candice, okay? The woman that a lot of y'all love to hate, girl. I do feel like though sometimes when I be reading the comments, I can't really see it. I feel like Candice may be hated just as much as Ashley, but I see so many more negative comments for Candice that Candice may be the most hated woman on the show. I think she's I would say that it's Gizelle because of what she did to Wendy, but no. I think that Candice is the most hated woman on Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? And y'all know on last week, I came to y'all to read y'all some of these comments that y'all be saying to this lady and how it don't be making no sense and it don't be adding up. Well, it seems like Miss Candice took some time out of her schedule to get with y'all, okay? She decided to go ahead and get down in the comments specifically after somebody decided to at her. And she felt the need to go ahead and have a few choice words for you guys. So somebody said, there you go, starting trouble again. You didn't learn from the Monique incident. Girl, y'all love hollering for Monique. Robyn, get out the bed. Get out the bed and come down here. They calling for Monique, so I figure I'll call for you too, girl. Come down here. Get up. I know you lazy, but get out the bed. Honey, okay, so Miss Candice decided to go ahead and respond to this Miss girl that decided to, at her personally. So she came back at her and said, do you hear how stupid you sound? You actually think that an unstable woman inflicting physical violence on someone for doing a job on a reality television show constitutes said person needing to learn a lesson? This is what we all do. We all banter back and forth. This is what we're getting paid to do. We're not getting paid to hit on each other, okay? Because if it was that big of a deal, we would be suspended for our words. No, ma'am. But when you sit up there and you hit somebody or whatever, just like what happened with Miss Porsha Williams, and Miss Porsha Williams, I think she came back not as a housewife. She came back as a friend of the show. Or you may be suspended and not have so many episodes. That's because you can't be out here doing that, girl. Now, if you want to drag Miss Girl for her fashions, okay, what she got on, how she looking, how her hair, go right ahead. We will condone it. That's why we're hiring you. Okay, but when you go so far and think that you're finna swipe or no swipe somebody and hit them, girl, then that's a different level, all right? So there's that. But she goes on to say, by that account, someone should learn you a lesson for talking crap to me. Meaning, girl, you over here at me, coming at me with your stuff. So if somebody comes over and diddy bop you, would it be warranted? No, it wouldn't, because you were just saying what you said. You should be hit and applauded for what it is that you had to say, girl. Okay, it was just a statement. So then Candice goes on and says, but I don't condone violence. So let's all be quiet together. Okay, let's all be quiet. I think a lot of times we can give our opinions. That's fine. They're our opinions. But a lot of times we feel like everything is all good until it happens to us, right? Ooh, yikes. So if you're having a conversation with somebody and you say something slick, like, I want you to do it. I want you to put me out. I want you to put me out. Come here. I want you to put me out right now. Put me out. And when they put you out or whatever, the same way that you said about Miss Candice, then we don't want to hear you hooping and hollering, because obviously you feel as though it was warranted for Monique to do what she did. So then if that's the case, then when it happens to you, we want you to have that same energy, girl. Okay. So there there's that, honey. And I know you guys cannot wait to go ahead and get down in them comments, girl. Y'all probably pause the video just so you can get down there in them comments. So go on, hurry up and leave your comment, girl. Okay? As I go ahead and transition and move on to something else. So, right, let's go ahead and get it to Miss Wendy. Miss Wendy Osefo. All right, Dr. Wendy Osefo and Miss Mia Thornton. Now, this originally starts off with Wendy and Gizelle having, you know, a conversation about how Gizelle said that she told Wendy about the rumors off camera. So that's where we're going to start with. And then we're going to pick up where Miss Mia felt as though it was great for her to add her flip-flopping 2 to 10 cents. Okay, so let's get into it. First things first. Gizelle had a sit down with Gibson, and this is what was said. Gizelle on Wendy Osefo being mad at her for not bringing up the cheating rumors about her husband to her directly, okay? Gizelle says, I'm going to give you a little tea. Everybody giving a little tea. Everybody giving a little tea. Wendy went to Jasmine Brand and gave a little tea about how Robyn was the one that hit her up and told her about the rumors. And now Gizelle over here talking about she want to give us a little tea, Gibson, based on what she told Wendy or whatever, right? She says, before the season even started, she and I talked about it on the phone. We talked about all the social media stuff. It was a very rushed conversation and we had to get off the phone. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to readdress this with her, right? So this is what Gizelle was saying in that interview pretty much, okay? Gizelle was pretty much letting the interviewer as well as other people know that she's already talked to Wendy behind the scenes. So for Wendy, and Wendy didn't take no offense to it, she didn't have no issue. So for Gizelle to bring it up on camera and Wendy to act the way that she did, she felt like that was like misplaced. She wasn't expecting that. And she overacted, basically, you know, overreacted. She was like, girl, but when I said this to you in private, you ain't had no issue. So now I'm just bringing the same conversation to the cameras and now you want to try and go off on me, girl. Make it make sense. So that's how she's feeling. Well, Wendy decided to respond to her and let everybody know. Prior to Williamsburg, Gizelle never brought up the rumor to me on or off camera ever. Hashtag RHOP. Now, see, this is the thing for me. This is where I be wanting to, like, at some part of me, I am so conflicted when it comes to Mia. Because I like Mia, but when she do stuff like this, I be like, Mia, every time somebody get ready to like you, you do something to make them not want to like you, girl. Let's get into what she said to Miss Wendy. She goes on to say, Lord, Wendy accusing people of lying again. Hashtag comedy. Now, you was just saying not too long ago how you felt as though you learned you got a newfound respect for Wendy when she kind of snapped off on Gizelle or whatever it was. You had a newfound respect for Wendy, or you sympathized with her, whatever it was, you could connect with Wendy in that moment. But you also the same BIT that was promoting candles and stuff where you knew this lady was trying to do a candle line. And then you go back on your social media page and you're praising Wendy. And then now here it is, you pretty much, since you want to speak on Gizelle saying one thing and meaning another, let's talk about what you said and what you act and what you meant, because you really said what you meant. It's not a guess about anything. You're basically calling Wendy a liar. Okay, being sarcastic in this comment, saying Wendy accusing people of lying again. Girl, which one is it? So basically for you to sit up there and be like, oh, I gained a newfound respect or whatever for Wendy and this and that, you know, and then you say on the after show, Gizelle should have gone to her in private and had this conversation or whatever, right? So when you did the after show, you were making it seem as though Gizelle never approached this lady or anything. And then now you're being Team Gizelle, looks like it, by saying Wendy lying. So basically that's leading a lot of other people to believe that Wendy is lying and that Gizelle did have this off camera conversation with her. Now, I don't know whether she did or didn't, but I'm just calling out Miss Mia for what she's saying, because that's what it looks like here. Okay, it looks like Miss Wendy, you lying. Maybe you don't remember the conversation that you did have with Gizelle off camera, and you did indeed do the most when you got on camera regarding that issue. So that's what it's looking like here. So I just want Miss Mia to possibly choose a side, you know, but maybe Miss Mia like where she's at. Maybe she's Team Mia's side. Maybe she like, I'm just going to be in the middle, okay? I'm just going to be in the middle. I don't mind doing some double dutch, okay? I'm cool with that. So, you know, y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on Miss Mia. And her being team Wendy one week and then turning around and being team Gizelle the other week, honey. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on Miss Mia and whether or not her input was wanted and needed. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and switch gears and get into the latest after show that has dropped, okay? Got a few things here that I want to go ahead and walk through and mention with you guys, so go ahead and sit tight as we get into it, okay? First things first. They speak on Wendy, okay? Wendy is asked about her close friendship with Karen. Wendy said the defining moment for their friendship was on that trip, because Karen was able to be supportive to her in that moment when Gizelle and Robyn, you know, kept coming for her at that time about, you know, her attire and her personality and stuff. Karen was there to support her wholly. Karen goes on to say that, what did Karen say? Karen says that she didn't really expect them to get closer at the time, but she did say that whenever somebody's in a low moment, she wants to be that person to, like, you know, support them and go there and be there for them and, you know, uplift them. She loves to uplift and mend women is what Miss Karen is saying, okay? And she says that if Gizelle came to her in the same fashion, she would do the same thing. And I kind of believe that a bit. I feel like she probably would be there for Gizelle if Gizelle showed Karen her vulnerable side. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she might do that for her. And I feel like Gizelle has done it for Karen. So that's why I feel like Karen would do it for Gizelle. Remember when I believe it was the season when Robyn them was talking about the finances and stuff, and not believing that she lived in Potomac and leaving a piece on her doorstep and doing all that extra stuff. So they really got on Karen's nerves that season. But it was also around the time that Karen, I could be mixing up the season, so forgive me for that, but Karen ended up losing her parents within a few months apart, and she got really emotional on set. And although she and Gizelle were definitely at odds at that time, Gizelle was the only person to go back there and support her and, you know, just be there with her in that moment. So I feel like again, that was Karen just being vulnerable. She lost her parents and stuff. So I feel like if Gizelle would show that same thing, I think Karen would probably, you know, support her in that fashion. But Gizelle don't want her support because she don't want nobody to see her down and out. She don't want nobody to feel like they was ever right about anything. So there's that. So Gizelle says that she thinks that Karen wants and needs some grandchildren. She says because she wants to nurture people so much, honey. So much, honey. And she wants folks to look up to her so bad, honey. She needs some grandchildren, okay? So go and get you some, girl. A lot of shade was being thrown around. Meanwhile, Robyn up there saying on the after show that she feels as though Karen is a whole joke. So what else is going on? And this is Miss Robyn saying this, okay? Candice tells I feel the truth, honestly. This is what she says to Wendy. She says, Candice, she says that Karen used this as an opportunity to flex her muscle as a comforting person. But deep down inside is really Karen's guilt for how she probably treated Miss Girl on last season, okay? Now, Gizelle goes on to say that, and she says she specifically wants Wendy to hear this, right? She says that Karen praises her, she says that the praise Karen has for Wendy has nothing to do with Wendy, but more so to do with herself. She says the only reason why you guys are even cool, or she's really taking more of a liking to you than she ever did last year, was because you don't like Gizelle right now. That's what Miss Gizelle is saying. She says, so anybody mad at Gizelle is a friend of Karen's. I believe that too. I've noticed that. I've seen that. It's an awkward friendship amongst the two of them. So, yeah. I agree with what Gizelle is saying. Gizelle says that she doesn't care that they are friends, but she just would prefer the friendship be actually genuine. So that's what it is that Miss Gizelle is saying about Karen and Wendy's friendship. Candice goes on to tell Wendy this. Listen, she says, Karen is Team Karen and she will always be Karen, Team Karen. Make no mistakes about it. Okay. She says, I want you to have love and support in this group. She said the same thing that I wanted from Karen last year or whatever. She said, but understand this at the end of the day. Karen will support you for the benefit of Karen. So it's always going to be Team Karen at the end of the day. So I'm like, I hear what you're saying. Okay, girl. Oh, I mean, but maybe she could have possibly really been supportive to her in that moment because she was crying, girl. But so I feel like it could be a little bit of both. It could be that she wanted to uplift her in that moment, as she probably would do anyone. But then at the same time, I feel like she's definitely taking a much better liking to Wendy because Wendy is going up against Gizelle. All right. So there's that. I do feel like they're yeah, I already said it. Yeah, I just feel like she getting closer with her because she don't like Gizelle, and that's that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and talk about Gizelle being the shady queen that she is. Gizelle stands true that she's done nothing unfriendly to Wendy. That's what she says. And she's waiting on Wendy to be a friend. That kind of confused me a little bit. I was like, what you mean you waiting on her to be a friend? Did I listen to that wrong? What you mean? You waiting on, I didn't understand that part. Robyn says that if Gizelle was being shady, she would have repeated rumors as though they were fact. But I feel like you could be shady without saying something is a fact. I feel like she brought it up, on the show. So now the entire world is about to see this whole storyline play out or whatever. So I feel like she could have been shady without something being an actual fact. Yeah. Candice was just shady with Ashley last night. So you could be shady without it being a fact. Gizelle says that if she was being shady, she would have made it a more colorful commentary. She would have, beefed it up a bit more if she was being shady. And I feel like, once again, Gizelle brought the story kind of to the show or whatnot. And what else did I want to say? So she was being a little shady in that sense by bringing it up on the show. What else did I want to say about that? The issue for me is, yeah, I understand you brought it to the show. It was definitely shady, but it does not mean that Wendy is excused because everybody has had their stuff brought onto the show. The primary issue really for me is the fact that you sit up there and say that you are concerned for Wendy and Wendy's your friend, but when you've had multiple chances to address that with her directly, you didn't. And then you sent the milkmaid in there to have the conversation with her. So, yeah, that's where I think you definitely went completely wrong, which leaves range for Wendy to misunderstand whatever the motive was. And there's that. Okay. So now she's feeling a way about it. She thinks you're being shady. She's feeling attacked. And you allowed room for that because you didn't do your part. So let's move on, right? Let's talk about Ashley. Ashley being messy in Williamsburg, honey. Ashley says that she thought they buried the hatchet when it comes to she and Candice. Ashley says that Candice always bring them back to a bad place, basically. And I'm like, Ashley, that's because you always messy as hell. And nobody on the cast really calls you out when you do shit, right? Even Wendy said in an interview, okay, Wendy said the reason she didn't go hard at you, even though you were the one bringing her the BS, even she didn't go hard at you, she went hard at Gizelle because you had just had a baby. That's what it was. That's why she didn't go hard at you. So it's like, yeah, I don't mind Miss Candice keeping her foot on your neck, girl, because ain't nobody else seeming to keep their foot on your neck. So there's that. Okay, what else did Miss Pick Mia say? Miss Pick Mia says that she grew a weak spot for Ashley. And I said, bitch, you grew a weak spot for Ashley on that day. Because it's going to change in a few weeks. The same way you did Wendy. Oh, I grew, like for Wendy, or I grew support for Wendy, or I grew this or that. And then here it is, not too long ago, you just called this lady a liar. What, last night or whenever? You just called this lady a liar. So girl, shut up. What else is going on? She also goes on to talk about Candice's mouth, though, where everybody loves to say, woo, Candice's mouth, honey. And what about your mouth, Mia? The way you sat up there and was telling Gizelle you ain't got time to talk to her unless it's about boss moves, and the way that you was coming at Miss Wendy and Miss Wendy had to check you. Okay, so everybody got them a little mouth on them. What about Miss Karen's mouth talking about a hot box? Okay, now if Gizelle would have hauled off and slapped Miss Karen, who would have been in the wrong? It would have still been Miss Karen. It still would have been Miss Gizelle because she ain't have to put her hands on that lady at all. But at the end of the day, girl, why, what about Miss Karen's mouth? Okay, so everybody on that cast got some mouth. All right. Hell, and Wendy's mouth was lethal as hell too. The way she came at Miss Robyn about her relationship. So girl, miss us with it, okay? Let's go ahead and scoot on. Candice continues to call Ashley out for being messy AF. Wendy co-signs Candice's statement about Ashley being messy. And she also goes on to talk about her being a new mother as well. She said, last year when I had my child, I was in a euphoric space, right? For Ashley to leave her child, okay, and to come 4 hours away to be a part of a function for a brief amount of time and then to spill some tea was messy as fuck. And I agree with Wendy on that. You could have saved that time, girl. If you was going to do all of that, you could have FaceTime Wendy. If you was gonna be out that quick, girl, you could have just FaceTime Wendy. Now the heat still would have been on you for being messy and disturbing this lady's day. Okay, but it is what it is, and I definitely agree with Wendy on that, girl. You supposed to be in such a happy space. You done gave birth and all this other stuff, so stay at home. But then when somebody start dragging you about that, you want to cry. Oh my God, you're talking about body shaming, and you're talking about this, and I just had a baby, and Then you knew all of that you just had a baby. You should have stayed your mess at home. Okay, only for you to show up for a few hours. So you definitely arrived there with an intent. With your new what is it? You just gave birth, okay? And your whatever postpartum, whatever, you just gave birth. You brought your ass, your wide body ass on down there to start some mess. So you could have stayed at home for all of that. Don't be trying to use your children or you being a new mom to overshadow or to compensate for your messiness or whatever, or try to deflect. Oh, you're saying this and you're saying that. Yeah, I'm saying this and that because you didn't give a fuck about none of that when you came down there to be messy. Okay, let's move on. What else did I want to say? Ashley says Candice has a long rap sheet. I said a long rap sheet about what? Having what? A wicked mouth? Is that what she has a long rap sheet or what? You've been on the show longer. Your rap sheet goes further than hers. Okay? Candice got the mouth, but you also got the mouth as well. It may not sound how Candice sound when it comes out her mouth, but you directly have gone and you have definitely said something about each single person's marriage, girl. You have definitely done that. So your rap sheet is just as long. And here it is. You're the same person to sit down and have that same conversation with Wendy, trying to comfort her marriage too. So let's move on. Gizelle speaks on Chris and his work. This is Candice's husband. Gizelle, just leave it alone. It's their marriage and their relationship. It's not for you to understand. But okay, you're going to speak on it. Gizelle says that she feels as though the sky is the limit for Candice. She says, but she sees Chris as a chef. Well, just because that's what you see don't mean that's what his wife sees. Okay. So she says she sees him as a chef and now all of a sudden he's a manager. And she said that her spider senses are tingling and the yellow flags are going up. And I said, but they didn't go up about Jamal. And I hate to continue to rehash that, girl. I hate to continue to rehash that. But your spidey senses don't go up any other time. But it's going up for Candice and what's going on over there. Okay. Gizelle, what else did she say? Candice says that she isn't upset with Gizelle because she doesn't know that type of love that Chris gives her. She says she hasn't experienced it and she still isn't experiencing it. She says she's not experiencing the ounce of love and support that her husband gives to her herself as well as to her career. So it's expected. So she pretty much said the same thing about what Wendy said, when she was like, it is what it is. She expects that from Gizelle because Gizelle will never experience or has yet to experience the love that she has with Eddie. So they essentially said the same things. Candice goes on to say that, you know, it was left field for Gizelle to say that, considering the fact that she knows Chris. So you know Chris and you know what Chris is about. You don't know Eddie, but you know Chris. So you shouldn't have said that. Okay, so there's that. And then let's get on to Michael and Ashley. Ashley speaks about how she's still scarred from his past actions. And what else did she say? Michael tells her that she is quickly getting back to shape for him too. And that makes him happy because he thinks, in my opinion, that she wide body as well. Because last year that was his issue as to why he couldn't be, I guess, intimate with her. So this year she asked him about her body or whatever, and he's saying, you know, I think we're fine. It looks like you're getting back to yourself, and that's good for me. Yikes. So let's talk about your husband. If you want to bring a body shame, and let's talk about him starting there with you first. Okay, and then stepping out of your marriage with that before you sit up here and be worried about a comment that Miss Candice made. Girl, your husband has already started that with you. Okay, so let's look there. But we know that you never blame Michael really for anything, for real, girl. And there's that. But I'll allow you guys to leave your thoughts and comments down below. Okay, let me know your thoughts about everything that I discussed today on the quick chat. I'm Jamie, that's me. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.